What's going on, YouTube? In this video, I'm going to be telling you how to get negative reviews removed from your TCG Player account and try and avoid them altogether. First though, if you would, check out my links below. The first one is going to be to my TCG Player account, and that will be my actual website. And by going there to buy your cards from me, you'll get a 5% discount off of my regular prices, due to the fact that using that link stops TCG from hitting me with their marketplace prices or fees, sorry, it stops the fees from them, and that in turn saves me 10%, and then 5% goes back to y'all. So either way, it helps me out and you get cheaper cards. But anyways, this is how you get to remove some of the negative feedback that you can get on TCG. I will preface this with saying this has worked for me always so far. I have over 4,000 and some sales, and I've probably had a total of 20 negative reviews hit my account. And when I say negative, I mean 5 stars or under 5 stars. So 4-star and less, I still count as a negative, because on your account, they do not see it as great. They see it as a neutral, which still hits your account pretty hard. So this would be for 4s and below. And I'll go over what the different ones are and how you remove them. So the first one would be condition issue or sent the wrong card. If you have sent someone the wrong card and they leave a negative review telling you that, first thing you do is you message them, verify what card they say is wrong, because I had someone leave me a negative review, and I do count this in the 20 because I had to resolve it. I sent them the correct card for what their list says, so give you a sheet, it's got all your cards. I sent them the correct one, near mint, non-foil. They said they ordered a near mint foil. I showed them on their receipt, no you did not, you ordered a non-foil, and they then stopped responding. So in that case, I had to message TCG, escalate our thread of messages. Sorry about that. I had to escalate our message thread and tell them, hey, they left me a negative review. I sent them the right card. They are no longer responding to me. Can we get this removed? They removed it very quickly. It does only update every 24 hours at like 2 or 3 in the morning, I think, for me. So I did have a day where I was at 99.5 because of that. Also, the next one would be for, if you've sent the wrong card, you can either offer to replace it and send them the correct card. So if it is a common or something like that that's very cheap, I will, especially if it's my fault, I will send them the correct card, and that will get them normally to change their review. And if they don't change the review after sending the correct card, again, you escalate the thread, message TCG, and let them know, hey, I sent the right card out, it got to them, can we remove this? And they will remove it because you did what they say is the correct way to handle the situation, sent out the correct card and got it fixed. So there's that. The next one is condition issue. So condition issue is actually a problem for a lot of stores, and they don't really know how to handle it. So some stores in their instance would be, hey, you sent me the wrong condition, what can we do about it? You're going to have some people that'll go near mint card to LP, and they're like, I want a 50% discount. I want this, I want this, and things like that. First, what TCG suggests you do is offer a 10% discount for each level that the card goes down. So if it was near mint and it's LP, you're going to give them a 10%, 20% if it's the next, and you just keep going down the list until there's no reason to refund anything. So in that case, you would offer it to them, and if they do not accept it, then the next offer is, cool, send me all the cards back, or the card in question back, and I will refund you your money. And when that happens, TCG will then, you'll have to message them again. They have an automated bot service that actually is pretty good. It just stops you from clogging up their email. It sends them a request, they check it, and they'll normally fix it for you, but it will send them something. And in return, they'll check if you refunded the money for the card. They will take the negative off your account because, again, by their definition, you had customer service relations, but you had a relationship with the customer. You tried to fix it in an appropriate manner, and either the customer accepted the refund, you did it, you didn't offer them a refund, you offered a percentage refund, and they didn't want it, so you got the card back, then you would in turn do a full refund again. or just going through and refunding it, not taking the card back. I have done that on occasion because if I have sent someone the wrong card and I do not have the replacement, such as you ordered a foil common that's 10 cents and I send you the non-foil version on accident and you message me and tell me there's no reason for me to try and get that card back from you, I'm going to refund you and be done. And I'll let you know that. I am always very transparent with them. Hey, they'll offer to send me the card back. It's not worth it. For me to get the card back, you either have to get a stamp out of me in some form or fashion, and if I've already mailed you something, then that's probably not going to happen because I would have to mail you another. If I'm mailing you the replacement of an expensive card, I will send a stamp and the other things to send me my stuff back. I will do that in that case. But overall, you're basically looking at refunding them to get that negative review. And since it is your fault, that's something that you're going to have to live with. Because 4 and 3-star reviews really do hurt your account on here, especially in the first section, which is like last 30 days, then 90, then 6 months, I believe, and then lifetime. It will hurt your account in the last 30 days to have a negative review on there. So that's the next thing. Refund them. They're going to fix it for you. The other problems that I've run into randomly are people complaining about damage or complaining that they received their cards, and this really did happen to me. Received his cards perfectly fine in a shipping shield. I have right here, shipping shield. Cards go in, fold down the flap, tape if you're using the kind that I do, or the other ones have a peel stick tab right there and do the same thing. Received the cards fine. When he went to go remove them from the packaging, he messed them up. He clearly stated, received it, package was great, no problem. I went to go remove it from the shipping shield. I grabbed it too hard and I bent the cards. So he left me a negative review saying that I was the problem here in that I did not ship them correctly, and then also stated that they came without any protection on them. So I quickly responded to him because whenever I get a negative review, I try and message the person and work it out and see what it was. He said, you sent it with no protection. I said, sir, that I don't believe that's true. I package every order. Shipping shield. And he was like, yeah, but it wasn't a top loader. So I said, that doesn't count. And I was like, well, that's how most people ship nowadays, but okay. So then I was like, well, what happened? Because, again, your review said you grabbed the cards too hard and bent them. So that's not a me problem. And he restated it to me exactly, that he grabbed them out and bent the cards, and somehow that was my fault, and he was mad. So all I did was escalate it up to TCG. The person read it and said he does state that he bent the cards. They received them fine, and he bent them because he grabbed them too hard. Remove the negative review, and they suggested I block the buyer. And I say suggested. They told me that that is a option. I don't think they're allowed to suggest that you block a buyer, but it was implied that I can block them. So I did. I try not to block people also for giving me a negative review if it is warranted, but I do always try and fix it. And that's why you'll see a lot of my stuff, even if there was a negative at one point in time, they have since fixed it and said that I reached out with good customer service and worked with them. That is something that you're going to have to do, especially if you're not going to the direct side. Your customer service is going to have to be exceptional. And as annoying as that can be sometimes to people who are being unreasonable, it's just something you have to do. So those are the main ones, are offering full refunds if you get the cards back. Is the only time I offer full refunds, is if I am getting the card back, unless it is a 10-cent card and I sent you the wrong one. Then I will eat that. That is on me. I messed up, and I am not going to worry about a 10-cent card. But if I am in the right here, sensing that you're trying to take advantage of me, as I also had happen, someone stated that I sent them a secret layer, and it was a full set of secret layers, and the one, they were like, oh, these are messed up, it has damage, da 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 da. I had to pay to get them back, and since the full set of secret layers was around $45, I of course paid for shipping to get them back. And when I received them, they were perfectly fine. And I messaged TCG and I said, "Hey, what can we do about this?" Somebody messaged me, told me that their secret layers were tore up when they got them. They have damage on the bottom, all this stuff. So I paid to have them back. TCG then responded, "Hey, that is weird. Let us know, like, was there anything wrong or what?" And I just reiterated, no. He said they were damaged. I got them back. They're perfectly fine. What can I do about this, since I had to pay for shipping twice because these were expensive products that I wasn't going to just put in the mail. And they did end up asking for a receipt of the label I paid for, and I sent it to them, and they sent me the $4 and whatever for paid tracking back. So TCG does want to work with you, but don't take advantage of it. If you're messing up on orders and you're not holding yourself accountable, and you're just like, "Oh, well, I know TCG will get rid of it," eventually I think they just won't want to work with you, or they will work with you, but they will not start removing these. Because for me, just to check real quick, I've had over 4,200 sales at this point in my lifetime of TCG, which is less than a year. I've done 4,000 sales, and I've had 20 negatives, so 4-star and below. I've only ever had 2 1-stars. One was the guy who damaged his own cards, and I don't remember what the other was, but it wasn't anything that warranted a 1-star. And the other ones have all been either sent the wrong version of the card, or non-foil or a foil, or somebody, again, I've had 2 or 3 where the people ordered something that were not what was on their list. So it wasn't a me problem. I checked it. I sent it how it was written. But normally, and as you can tell, mine have been completely fixed. I always try and do my best to fix them and help out the customer. But there are times where you will have to help out the customer, and it may be at your expense. But after that, you can block them from your store and they will not be able to buy, which you feel like you don't want to do, but with how many people use TCG and other selling sites, it's not always the worst to do that. I do know people who make lists. There's a couple bigger YouTubers who make lists of people that have been blocked because of fraud or other things like that. They will personally go in and block sellers or buyers, sorry, and they will keep a record of who they have blocked, and they will post it out on their pages, which I'm not personally on any of those, like to find out who to block and stuff. But if you are getting big enough, or you've noticed, more fraudulent things happening, keep that in mind. Maybe check out some of those other YouTubers who do it, because this is a way to make money. And I'm not saying that I make great money from doing this or anything, but I do want to do this for my livelihood for as long as I possibly can. And I enjoy it. And I also enjoy the good customers who leave me good reviews when, I've done everything correctly, and you're trying your best. But I also want to help out the ones that feel like I've messed up or made a mistake. I want to help them out as well. But I would like for it to always be fair on both sides. And I do think TCG helps with that a lot, unlike some other selling sites that I've used. Mercari, for instance, if you get a negative review and you try and report it for any reason, you cannot fix it. They will not fix things except in a positive way. So if I've been given a 1-star for something I didn't do, and I tell them, they're like, everyone's experience is different with you, we're not going to fix it. And that, to me, is a not good way to handle it. Sometimes I do think TCG is too quick to remove it, as I have personally had issues with a seller or two before, and I try not to leave bad reviews. Even if I have a bad experience with you, I'm going to avoid giving you bad reviews, because the one time I have a bad experience with you does not make up for the 20 times I've had a good experience with you. But there are some that just don't want to ship out orders and do things of that nature, and that bugs me a little bit. So leaving bad reviews for that, for completely reasonable reasons, and the person did not try and fix it in any way, I think the negative review should stand. Now, if you've done everything you can to fix it, then yes, I do think that TCG should remove them and work with you in a reasonable manner. I do believe, if I had only had 20 sales and I have 10 negatives, then that's a 50% problem. I'm having a problem on 50% of my orders. I don't think TCG should be willing to help someone like that. But when you have 4,200 orders, you've had 20 negatives, and, I think probably 10 of them have been corrected by the buyer themselves. I think that, 10 out of 4,000 orders, I don't think that's too many, especially when you're dealing with just people in the world today. Sometimes you're going to get people who are not happy. They make a mistake, or you make a mistake, and you're willing to correct it, and they won't let you. But again, that is just my opinion on some of the things. Let me know how selling goes for you. Have you ever had TCG tell you they can't fix something for any reason? And if so, let me know what it was and why. Hopefully I don't run into any of those reasons that they wouldn't try and correct something for me, especially if I follow all of their guidelines to get it fixed. So anyways, thanks for watching. Peace out.